Hey friends, so I wanted to share just a little theory with you all to kind of save the scrambling around and hunting for answers. But I had a little theory about, and it may not even be my own theory, maybe it was a divine message, I don't know. But everyone talks about this whole mark of the beastness. Mark of the beast, or waiting for the mark of the beast. Is it the RFID chip? Is it a Quran on the forehead? It's funny because it's always been here. It's always been utilized for power, and it's always been utilized for protection, and it's always been utilized for initiation and for so what is it is the question, right? So I kind of just did it on accident, adjusting my glasses. So it's the Eye of Horus, because if the story of Horus is kind of tricky, I'm still trying to figure out what's the real story, because apparently it was Horus originally was regular, and he was chopped into 13 pieces, and 13 is a very interesting number for world takeover, domination. 13 is king. A lot of people use 13 for, to claim their dominance. That's how you signify, hey, don't mess with me because I'm going to leave a mark of 13 so you can back off. That's just the only way I can interpret it, because I don't have the mindset to put all the hypothetical terms together. But I have a strong belief that the Eye of Horus and how it's used is the mark of the beast. Oh yeah, and then continuing the story, as I just navigated. So when all the pieces of the body were put back together, apparently Isis, she made love. It's kind of weird because it was her son who then became her husband after the body parts are put together. I don't know. It's such a weird story. Usually, like when there's mother-son relationships in the past, in ancient past, it's to keep that same bloodline going. You never want to taint the bloodline. I don't know. Someone please clarify me the story. I think that's just how I do understand the story. It was, hey, 2 dragonflies. Yeah, but I believe it's always been the Eye of Horus, because we see it in music, we see it in entertainment. Every single freaking movie, billboard, you see either a pyramid or you see one of the eyes covered. So, it is what it is. I don't think people should spend all their time trying to say, ooh, Illuminati this and that, allegedly. Because the people who know and utilize a system, they do it. Like I had a friend who, he practices the Ra system. It's not a religion, but he does the sun worship stuff, and I was just like, are you sure you want to do that? And I was very critical and judgmental of him prior to the end of last year, where I was like, you know what, I need to let it go and let some people utilize what system works for them. Just as me, I have a friend, she is a celebrity. Well, not a celebrity, she's an actress, and she's kind of like a mini celebrity. She's not that popular, but when you see, if you were to know her movies, we go, oh yeah. So because she and it's not like she's told me anything, just to like, put the safety net out there. She hasn't told me anything, but I can tell that, in order for her to attain that role as an actress and to be portrayed as the same adversity of a character in each role, there are certain things that one must do. If you're displaying yourself in front of millions of people, the Eye of Horus is to protect you. And even like before I got really into my spiritual practice and into my awakening experience, I had an actual Eye of Horus. Well, most people have it. If you live in Los Angeles, there's a guy, he comes from Egypt and he sells the scrolls that people make. And he said, you need this for protection. And I did not even know that I had a beast on my wall. Because when I had, as soon as I put that scroll, it was beautiful though. But though I put it on my wall, the place I was living at, my roommates, we were having a lot of weird experiences. We were having the same dreams. Did you guys hear that? We were having people jump on the roof of our where we were living. It was like an artist dorm. There were people trying to break in from the ceiling, like on the rooftop, banging, knowing they couldn't get in. So we lived in a true like poltergeist, and I was like, shoot, And then once this wasn't my awareness that it was because of what I nailed on the wall. I'm learning this now through my life journey now, saying, whoa, maybe that was because of X, Y, and Z. And so, it just dunged me in the head, and I thought I'd share a video with everyone that the mark of the beast, as spoken in Revelations, the only thing that hasn't been implicated yet was putting it on the hand. But there are people who still accept the powers that be, and I'm noticing it in Facebook photos of people who they would give you a photo like this. And I'm like, okay, you go ahead and be secretive. Or I notice when I'm talking to people, I won't do the hand gesture, but let's say if I'm talking to people and they put both their hands together and they make the shape of whatever that is, allegedly. Even the news broadcasts, you watch that and you see the news reporters, and news reporters, they're not part of that whole deal, but because they work for the association, if they're passing information along, you'll see their hand gestures do. It's either the two index and the middle fingers crossed together, whereas they're talking, they put both of their hands together like so. I don't portray it as something evil, and it's not like I'm trying to bring justice to an opposition, but we live inside someone else's world, and if we are to upkeep our free will, it's really to understand freely what these symbolisms are. But because everyone freaks out and spazzes out about everything that is not pure in their eyes, is the reason why these things are not taught. They're only implicated. And every time that they try to slowly marinate it into society, you get the truther and the conspiracy theorist communities going above and beyond to dilute the messages with, love, faith, compassion, but then the message gets misconstrued. So it's not like I'm taking sides, but if I'm in the middle trying to understand, just as I just understood right now what's going on, I think that's how I can interpret that the beast is it's on the dollar bill. You guys see it, the pyramid with the eye. It's the all-seeing eye. But the reason why it's called beast is because you had one king pharaoh, or whatever you want to call it, that had resurrected and had been erected as a full-on man who ruled a second time as Ra. And from then, yeah, I think that's just what it means. Like, it's kind of like Frankenstein, or yeah, Frankenstein. Wait, no, who's the monster? The monster was Frankenstein, wasn't it? You know, Frankenstein, it's the same story. You know, I put a chopped up human together and I added some nuts and bolts for his brain, and now I can control him. That's the beast. And also too, I was watching that Transylvania movie. Even though it was for kids, I was like, wait a minute, they have a werewolf, they have bats, and they're all friendly with the Frankensteins and the doctors who engineered all of them to be a little bit morphed. And I was like, that's the beast. So I think we all can be mindful when seeing those symbols. There's nothing you can do about it, and you can't, like I always say, you can't run out your house with a frying pan and a broom thinking that physically you're going to prevail over these forces. But it really takes discernment from your heart and understanding where you are, and navigate yourself spiritually, emotionally, and mentally away from where the confusion is at, the epicenter of the confusion, if that makes any sense. So I just wanted to share that with you all. It's just a theory, it's a thought, it could be the truth, but however it resonates with you, thank you for watching the video, and you guys all take care of yourself, and be mindful of what you do with your hands, and be mindful what other people do with their hands. And it's not to live in a fear-based society, but it's to understand that it's to confirm where you live, and to be very precautious on what you do and what you listen to, and you know, all that stuff. Have a wonderful day. Bye.